Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Opposite Sides of the Spectrum. If you are new, I am Lauren.
And I'm Tiara.
And today it's like a part two to our DC trip, kinda, essentially.
Kinda, sorta. We're just gonna go more in depth about like the workshops we went to. That's all.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be a partial continuation, but we are talking about a new topic that does go into what we're gonna talk about. So more of like an actual wrap up.
We have DC, yeah, pretty much. Well, I guess you want to start with what you want to start with.
I don't know. What do you want to start with?
We can start with this question since you said you were excited.
No, okay, we can't start with the question.
Girl.
Let's start with. Okay, I have a really funny story for y'all. Before I tell this story, I did not serve this to my family. I'm not trying to kill my family, but I had got home from work. I was gonna make some barbecue chicken. And I had some chicken thighs. I like to season my chicken. First I like to wash it in vinegar. That's how I like to wash my chicken. I wash it in vinegar. I season it. I do barbecue sauce. If I'm really trying to get fancy, I'll like crisp the skin a bit and then do the barbecue sauce, put in the oven. So I was really looking forward to the barbecue chicken. So I got home and I took a jug out of the pantry because I'd recently just bought a jug of vinegar so I could make some red velvet cake. So I took the jug out, I poured it in there in the bowl with the chicken, and I'm mixing it up, and I'm like, this smells weird, but we just gonna keep going. But it smells weird, but that's okay. Like maybe I just haven't smelled vinegar and chicken in a while because I also don't cook meat a lot at home. I grew up vegetarian, so I'm not really used to cooking meat like that. Like, I'm still learning how to cook meat. So sometimes I'm just like, maybe it's just, I haven't smelled raw chicken and vinegar in a while and it smells weird. So I'm going to rinse the chicken and I put the bottle back in the pantry and I noticed it says hand sanitizer. Because I live with my aunt, so she has like this hand sanitizer that's really thin and pourable, because she has like this device that like spritzes hand sanitizer on you.
She has every freaking
Literally. So, y'all, okay, for one, I was trying to save it. I was trying to see if I could rinse the hand sanitizer off.
I told her to throw it away.
And I was like, I can't. So I had to throw that chicken away. So RIP to that barbecue chicken I was trying to make. It was going to be real good too. Because I was going to make, I have some barbecue sauce, but I was going to make me some barbecue sauce too. So that chicken was going to be good. But the hand sanitizer ruined it.
This is why I be saying, y'all, read.
Don't keep chemicals where your cooking things are.
Yes,
but also read. But also don't keep chemicals where your cooking things are.
Read, y'all.
But do both. Do both. Read and don't keep those things together.
I mean, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's not gonna taste good if the chemicals around it, but we gotta do better with reading, y'all.
So that's what I did a couple of weeks ago, and I just got home from work, and I was tired, and I was just like, "This is a jug," just poured it in there. So that's my hand sanitizer chicken story that I did not serve to my family. I threw it away. I could not save it. There's nothing to be done. Because I pulled up the skin a little bit. I was really like massaging it in there. So yeah, it was.
She was treating the food with delicacy. I don't be doing all that. I eat it.
I'm screaming.
Well, since we're on the food segment, y'all, I tried to step out of our comfort zone and I made some mac and cheese and oxtails and cornbread.
And it came out good. She acted like she did not make it
Let
good.
me preview. Tiara did not try this food.
I saw it though.
The mac and cheese was pretty good. The only thing is, because y'all, I'm like I said, cooking, I'm just now getting comfortable in the kitchen a little bit more. But for me, the mac and cheese was pretty good because that was my first time making it from scratch. And I did watch like a video of someone who had really simple instructions. It was the hickory smoked cheese that I probably would replace because it was just very strong.
Like
and
smoky, cheesy flavor. That sounds good, but it's not. I feel like it's not something people are expecting.
yeah, and also for me, I'm not big on like hickory smoked flavors like that either. But I just thought to try it since I did like it. But like I was doing like a military diet, and I really like that cheese with the crackers and boiled eggs. I'm like, okay, I'm really liking it. Let me try it. Like it was cool, but it was just a little
too much.
Yeah,
too much hickory smoke flavor.
And the oxtails, like, what the problem was, I think I added way too much browning sauce, and I didn't add enough salt to bring out the other flavors. Because I've noticed that too when I'm cooking something lately. I'm putting a lot of seasoning in it, but I'm not really tasting the seasoning. So I think I need to do better with adding a little bit more salt. I'm a very salt conscious person. I don't like to add tons of salt in my food because there's already a lot of salt in the food. I feel like personally.
Well, it's not no salt and no raw meat.
Well, I mean like other things, like the other seasonings.
No, there's not. You have to read your seasonings. Because some seasonings are salt free. And there's no salt in them at all. And like garlic powder doesn't have salt, onion powder doesn't have salt. All the seasonings you generally use don't really have salt unless it says added salt or it says
it tastes salty to me, y'all. Like even like the chips.
Oh my god. Okay, the chips is different, Lauren. The chips is not you.
But no, the reason I'm bringing the chips up is because my taste buds have just really been changing. So things that you wouldn't think would be really salty are just extremely salty for me. So I think I'm also trying to figure out a balance between my taste buds now and salt. So that's also been kind of like a challenge for me. And also just because I'm getting older, my body's already going through so much change as I explained in other episodes. I'm also just trying to figure out that balance. So that's what I did wrong with the oxtails. Like if I do get it again, I'm not adding a lot of browning sauce. And I'm adding a little bit more salt, not too much. But because diabetes and all that does run in my family, that's also why I'm just very salt conscious as well.
And it depends on the salt you buy.
Yeah, I've realized that too.
So like if you're using like pink salt, then it's okay. I'm not gonna say it's okay to use a lot of it, but salt is used to bring out the flavors of your food. So if you feel like you season something a lot, but you're not really tasting anything, you probably need to add more salt to it. Now that itemized salt that literally says that it has no nutritional value, do not buy that salt. But if you buy like more natural salts,
I have like the Himalayan salt.
Yeah, like the Himalayan salts, the pink salts, those are better salts to use. Black salt. If you're looking for like something that tastes like egg, use black salt because it has kind of like the taste
I think
of
I
egg.
messed up with that. It was so nasty. I forgot what I put. I think I put it in the egg. It was so nasty. It was nasty.
So yeah, like use more like natural salts. But salts have been used since the beginning of time to season food.
We don't use it in moderation. That's the issue.
Moderation, but also our food that we eat today is not the same. And salt has been changed in so many different ways that that's like a lot of the foods we eat now are really not good for us. A lot of like processed foods.
And that's why also.
And I think that's also why people are so scared of salt. But salt is not something that should be scary. You should just use it in moderation. Or if you're using, because the other day I made spinach dip. And I used seasoning salt, so I didn't use any regular salt at all because the seasoned salt has enough salt content in it. So if you're using a salty ingredient, then you cannot use salt at all. Like if I'm making more like Asian style dishes, if I'm using soy sauce is salt. So I'm not adding any extra salt to my dish if I'm using soy sauce because that is my salt.
I'm gonna be cooking Asian dishes over here.
So you can either use a salty ingredient or just use salt and don't be scared of it.
We'll see. I'm still working on my salt intake. But y'all, that's what I made. The cornbread was pretty good. So
the food looked good, and for the first time you making that and it was edible is a success because oxtails is not like an easy thing to make. So Lauren did good.
I tried.
It was edible, so that's good.
It did last me a few days. I got so full. Like that mac and cheese and corn made me really full. So I had that. I cooked it on Sunday, and I finished it on Wednesday.
Because cooking also makes you not that hungry. I don't know what it is. Like when you cook, it's just like when the food is done, you're like, okay. Like I'm not even hungry like that anymore.
But that's fine. I'm gonna be hungry tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Exactly. Well, what do you got for our music?
Well, I'm talking about the song that I talked to Tia about today. It's called Auction, and it has Destin Conrad, which I think is Kehlani's cousin. And then, I forgot her name. It starts with the S.
I can find it again.
Yeah, Tia gonna pull it up.
But I like the music video. The music video is very, very, like, sensual. And the song itself is, like, very sensual, too. But I should have known with Lauren. Lauren listened to the nasty music.
Look, why do you have to put that out there? They need to know that.
All my friends listen to nasty music, and that's hilarious to me.
Oh, yeah, her name is Sasha Keeble. I think that's how you pronounce her last name. But this is my first time hearing about her, and I really, really loved her voice. I think their voices meshed very well.
A very, like, R&B type vibe. R&B, sensual. I know everybody's like, oh, we need old school R&B again. I felt like that did give like a mix of old and new school R&B, so that was cool.
And I just really like the fact that it's Pride Month and they both are in the community, so that was really cool to see.
Yes.
I really would like more videos too of like, well, I don't know how she identifies, but just more men and women together in the community, like doing a collab. That would be really, really cool. Because a lot of times we do things very separately. Yeah. So it would be nice for us to kind of collab, do more things together. Mm-hmm. So I really like that concept, and I really like the cadence of like, I think it was the bridge. But this song, is not appropriate for the kiddos. So if you have the kiddos around, I'll definitely not advise to listen to this song.
But put it on the playlist.
Yeah, I think this is definitely a playlist song. I feel like it has a nice little groove and rhythm to it. Yeah. But yeah, I just really loved how her voice just like melted like some butter in that song. It was so good, y'all. Oh, it was so good. But yes, that's my
your music segment.
Yes.
Lauren claims I don't like R&B.
I do like
R&B.
Top.
Yeah, but it's not my top genre I'll listen to.
You like the disco, like party, rock type. Yeah. She like the R&B's at the bottom, and that's fine.
I wouldn't say R&B's at the bottom.
Not every black person is going to like R&B, and that's
she doing me like this,
and that's okay because I don't want you to feel like you have to like something you don't.
It's not that I don't, because I grew up listening to R&B, so I like when people experiment with R&B. Like I feel like SZA does a really good job of experimenting, of like mixing R&B with other genres. Mm-hmm. I like that style of R&B, but you like the old school 90s R&B.
Yeah. I am a 90s baby. I'm at the end. I'm still a 90s.
So yeah, like R&B is not my top genre of choice. I will say that, but it's not at the bottom either. I feel like it's not at the bottom.
I mean, it's above country. I'll say that.
Anyway, it's still not at the bottom. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Well,
I guess
what's your dating advice?
I was thinking about this all day today, y'all, and it was only 11:10 a.m. But I think, and hopefully I didn't already say this in another episode, but I think today my dating advice is simply allow yourself to grow and don't feel like you have to conform or be the same person for somebody else's sake. You know, like I think we go into relationships
trying to lock in, like this is going to be forever.
The person that we met today is going to be the person we have 20 years on, and that's not. And that's, I think you need to give yourself and your partner space to grow, to be a different version of themselves, and be honest, because you might not like that version. Mm-hmm. It might, and I'm not saying that you might not like it because it's ugly, but it just might not be what you need at that time. So I would just say, have those open, honest conversations. I know they're not fun conversations, but allow yourself to grow and have those conversations about the new versions of yourselves. And even if you feel like you're about to, transition into something new, have those conversations with your partner early on. That way they can at least have an idea, okay, something's going on. Or even if they don't notice it yet, that way they're kind of just aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's my dating advice for today.
I feel like that's great advice. And just to take personally too, like, allow yourself that space to change and grow for the better, preferably. And then when you're with the person, when you get into a relationship, still allow them that space as well, because we're people, we're human beings, we're always evolving. And if you're not evolving, then being stagnant just sounds not fun.
It does sound boring.
It sounds very boring to just be stagnant. So I definitely think that's great advice, to give yourself that room, but also being understanding, giving your partner that room to grow too.
Yeah, because I think sometimes we as an individual, sometimes we might like that we're developing, but we don't like our partner changing. And it's like, that's not fair that you're okay with changing, but your partner can't.
Because your partner has to also go through that phase of like changing with you. If you cannot give that same grace to somebody else, and that's not very fair.
That's not. So yeah, y'all, that's my little advice.
Well, we finally made it to the question. It's not a bad question. Lauren, she been really taking me out with these questions.
No, I haven't.
But
I'm ready.
Do you feel like the way you have your friendships and what you accept in your friendships will also reflect the mirror of how you're treated in a romantic relationship?
Wait, repeat that again.
Do you feel like the way that you're treated in your friendships and like what you tolerate in your friendships is also like a mirror of what you'll tolerate in like a romantic relationship?
Yeah, to be honest, I do, because I'm still expecting respect, kindness, honesty, intentionality, intimacy, of course, in a different way.
Yeah.
So yeah, the core values that I have in my friendships, I do expect to have in my romantic relationship, because also, I think it is, I know you hear it all the time, but I think it is good for you to start as friends and then move into like a romantic setting. Yeah. So if I can't be friends with you, we sure not gonna work romantically. So I mean, I feel like, yes, how I'm treated in my friendships, I would like for that to carry over into my romantic relationships.
I like that you brought up intimacy, because people correlate intimacy to sex, and intimacy is not just sex.
It's not.
And me and Lauren have intimacy in our friendship, and I know people will be like, oh. But I feel like intimacy is just like how you connect and become closer. And I feel like the intimacy in our friendship is being just very honest and vulnerable with each other, and like having those really like hard and deep conversations that we have. That is the intimacy we share in our friendship. It's not sexual. Intimacy is not sexual. It can be,
but it's not the only way.
Yeah, there are more forms of intimacy than just the romantic sexual version. And I do have intimacy in my friendships, and that intimacy is different with each of my friendships that I have, but I do have intimacy in them.
And I think you should, because I don't understand how you can have any type of relationship and there's not some type of connection.
Yeah.
Because for me personally, it's going to feel like I'm talking to a wall.
Yeah.
And I know I've said this in the other episodes, but I'm just saying it again because it's so important to me. But just that emotional availability is something that I really need in all my relationships. Even like with my siblings, that's something that I'm really trying to work on, of having that emotional connection with them and letting them know, hey, you can talk to me about things. So that is a key component that I need in every single relationship that I have. So
I wish people would correlate intimacy to connection. I feel like that's that's more of what intimacy is how deep you connect with that person.
Yes, and I also will say that you have to also communicate how intimacy looks for you, because everybody's definition, as we know, is very different. And how your intimacy looks in your friendship, it could be very different than how it is in ours or anybody else's. So I think if you're, whatever you're wanting, regardless of what relationship, even with your family, you have to communicate in how that looks for you.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times we get mad and say, this is not what I wanted, but you didn't ever explain how you wanted it. So people are just giving it to you how they're assuming or how they would want it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, long story short, yes. Because I know I can talk in a circle. So.
No, but I agree. I do. I agree that the way you're treated in your friendships and how you treat your friends and how your friends treat you is also kind of like a direct correlation of what you'll kind of accept in a romantic setting too. Mm-hmm. And that's why I think friendships are very important. And not just having friends as a placeholder until you find a romantic relationship. That's not okay.
That's not okay.
But I think friendships are important because my friends have personally raised my dating standards on who I look for in people and in relationships. And my friends do things for me that I'm like, okay, yeah, if I have a romantic partner, they should definitely do these things for me too. Yeah. So sure. It's been very like helpful having like friends that actually genuinely like love and care for me, because that has also raised my dating standards.
And that too, like, yes, if my friends can do it, my romantic partner, I'm definitely going to expect it, because it's possible. Yeah. It's out there. I think sometimes your friends do have you thinking about your dating experience, because it's like, why was I tolerating this? Like, why was I not getting the best in whatever situation it was?
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, your friendship is a good indicator of how things are probably going to look in romantic relationships.
Yeah.
So.
Well, okay, so we're going to do like our finishing part of our DC trip.
Yeah.
We can start off about talking about the What the L workshop that was facilitated by the What in the L podcast. They have their Instagram page. We're going to link their Instagram page as well. But they asked some really, really good questions. And I really wish Lauren could have attended that one. But we're just going to like hit some like key things that happened in that workshop. For one, I like that it was two masculine women explaining their experience of being a masculine woman and like a woman of color, and being in spaces where it's like I'm the only one that looks like me. Mm-hmm. Because I know we all, like, as people of color, we all experience that. But when you layer on being a queer person, a lesbian person, and being masculine as a woman, I know that can be a lot. So it was really nice seeing them just live in their truth and be comfortable in it too. Mm-hmm. So that was really, really nice. So I think the first topic we can kind of discuss is I know one of the hosts, she was like, sometimes it's frustrating when I go into spaces and people like assume I'm a trans man. Mm. And she's like, I'm not a trans man. I'm a woman that is masculine, but I'm a woman and I love being a woman. And I feel like there is like a conversation we have to have within our community when it comes to some masculine women, because there are masculine women that act and emulate like men. Mm-hmm. And there are some masculine women that's just like, I'm a woman, I just choose to lean more into my masculinity. And I think the conversation needs to be had with the women that mirror men, of like, do you want to be a man? If you want to be a man, that's fine. But I don't think it's okay to put this expectation on all masculine women to act like men. Mm-hmm. Because you're a woman.
Yeah, for sure.
So, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I was in a whole different session. I didn't go to that one, as she was saying. But I will say, as my experience from being a masculine presenting woman, I don't think I've ever been in a situation where somebody mistake me as a trans man. If they did, they didn't say it. Mm-hmm. But I also feel like I'm still giving feminine energy more so than other masculine presenting women.
Yeah.
And I just got comfortable, I was saying, the last 3-4 years. So this is still kind of new for me. I will say, I think when I turned 25, that's when I really kind of started just going all the way.
Yeah.
But the second option you did provide of being a masculine presenting woman and just leaning more to masculine, I think that definitely fits me very well. And I know we've been going back and forth, but I would not consider myself, if we are talking about terminology, a stud. I would just consider myself more of like just a masculine presenting woman. But so far it's been really good. I will say, even though I'm very masculine, a lot of men actually, I feel like, go more out of their way to like open the doors for me. Like they let it, and I don't know if that's because men are trying to let me know, hey, I'm still a man and I want to do these things, or they're just being a nice person. Yeah. I think sometimes I go back and forth with their intentionality behind their actions. So that's been very interesting. But I'm not complaining about it. If you want to open the door for me, go right ahead. But yeah, I would say pretty much my experience has been really good. I've had a lot of supportive people in my corners that have supported me throughout this journey. A lot of people apparently already knew before me what it was going to be.
We all already knew.
So
when I first met Lauren, for the very first time in my life, I knew you were gay. It wasn't like a question about it. I knew. So, Lauren, I knew you did not like me.
Okay, I will say, when we first met, I was definitely not like this. I was like a tomboy.
No, you weren't. But yeah, you were more of a tomboy. But I'm like, you like women. Like, it was still very obvious. And I know at that time, like, Lauren used to have like long,
like braids.
Yeah, she used to wear braids, or you would press your hair out. Yeah. But you would always, if I ever saw you like not in band uniform or not in like school uniform, you were always like more of the tomboy side.
Yeah.
And I know that doesn't mean like you're a queer person, but I just always knew. Like, and everybody always knew. It wasn't something you hid, and I know you were trying to hide, but I felt like everybody just knew. But at that time, I feel like we were lucky enough to grow up in a time where it was like people didn't care, and people weren't being bullied for being gay.
Yeah, they just let you do your thing. Yeah. So I mean, if I came out, everybody would be like, "Oh, okay."
Literally, that wouldn't have been no breaking news.
Went about their business. So yeah, because I didn't date at all in high school when we met at all. I was just to myself. So, but yeah, that's just been my experience. It definitely is more freeing. And I will say that too, being a masculine presenting woman is not limited to how you dress, but it's like how you think, how you view things, how you feel,
the energy you carry.
Yeah. So I will say that as well, because I don't want people to think that, oh, you have to be gay to have masculine energy, or you have to be a man to have masculine. No. Masculine energy is an energy. So yeah, that's been my experience so far.
I think what's really interesting is that, because that reminded me, like, when I've just recently started like cutting my hair really short, like this. Like, even this is like kind of too long. I'm ready to get a haircut again, but I've just started like fading my hair. Every time I get a fresh fade, I get so much male attention, and I'm just like, okay, the men on the internet are saying this, but the men in real life are giving this. Yeah. I think a lot of men are attracted to masculine energy.
And that's fine.
And yeah, that's fine. Be attracted to who you want to be attracted to. But I also think that a lot of men, they don't know how to feel about them being attracted to masculine energy. So I just find it very interesting that it's like the more, and I'm just a very feminine person. I feel like the most masculine thing I've done is cut my hair, but it's like I've gotten more male attention by fading my hair than I ever have gotten in my life. Mm-hmm. And that's really like just crazy to me. It's insane.
Yeah. and I think I would love to have like a guy on here to get their perspective, because I don't want to just assume. And I know it's different per person.
Yeah.
But I just wonder if it's also because, and this is something I've just seen, I think, in general on the internet, and just from hearing men talk about how they feel. And I think a lot of men are tired of carrying all the weight.
Yeah.
And I think they want somebody else to assist, and they kind of want to be on the back burner. They don't want to be the one that's responsible for everything. 'Cause I mean, I get it. It's a lot too. So I think maybe more men are just kind of wanting like a partnership instead of the ownership. I don't know if ownership is the right term, but the reason I say that is because just how society makes it like a man owns a woman, I feel like in certain ways. That's why I use that phrase. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of men are not wanting that.
Mm-mm. Which is great. We shouldn't have wanted that in the past. Mm-hmm. But it's like, a lot of men are not wanting to be the protector and be the provider of everything. Like, in this economy, there is not only the 1% can afford to work one job off of their one salary and take care of everything in the home. Nobody can realistically do that anymore. Mm-hmm. All the middle class people that are married and have children, both parents have to work. Mm-hmm. There is not, this one person goes to work and we have kids and they pay for everything. I feel like people that don't have kids, you can make it work. But when you have children, both people have to work.
Yeah, and the middle class, as we already know, is getting erased. So that's another conversation for another day. But it's about to be rich and poor.
Literally. Very, very unfortunately. But, okay, that was the first thing that I thought was interesting. And then we did ask another question. The opening question was, how do you feel society views you, and how do you feel like you're viewed in your household? Is it being a woman first, a person of color first, or a queer person first? And we answered that question in our previous episode. So go listen to that episode for our answers.
Yes.
And then the next question they asked was, do we think as the lesbian women community that the word lesbian is being erased? And why, if you identify, like if you're a woman that only likes women, why are you more comfortable using the word queer versus lesbian? Because that is something that is happening. Mm-hmm. People are just identifying as just being queer, which I don't see an issue with, because I don't only like women, I just like people. Mm-hmm. So I identify as being queer because if you're a man, woman, non-binary, trans person, and you're of age, then I would date you. But I don't only exclusively date women. Yeah. So that's why I feel uncomfortable using the word lesbian, because I don't only and exclusively date women. So do you feel like there's like lesbian erasure happening?
I think when it comes to the community's terminology, there's so many new words.
That too.
I think a lot of people are just trying to just pick something.
And that's also that was some people's answers in the workshop too, that it's like there's so many different terms now.
Like there's like under queer, it's like a whole bunch of words within that word. Mm-hmm. So I think people are just kind of grouping stuff together. Yeah. Because I will say, like, using queer is just more easier than saying, I'm a lesbian or I'm gay and this and that. And I will be honest and say I've used more of the queer terminology, especially when I'm in a corporate setting. Mm-hmm. Because, and I work at a company where I could use lesbian and be fine. Yeah. But I think for me, I'm just like, let me just keep it short and cute and sweet. Mm-hmm. And that's why I've used the terminology queer, but I am a lesbian because I really only like yeah. But I just think, once again, especially with the new generation, it's like, this is why also I'm not a huge fan of what's the word I'm looking for?
Because the new kids got a lot of new terms,
new
terminology, and I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. But I do feel like there are things that lesbian women have done to get the entire queer community to the point we're at today. And something that I learned in the workshop that I've never heard in my life. And I do consume like a lot of like gay male content because I go to I'm really into drag, and I like that drag is kind of branching off into like us seeing like more women and trans women do drag, but drag is still a very like male dominated thing. And so I am like just in a lot of spaces with like gay men. Like one of my very, very close best friends is a gay man, so he was like my introduction into the queer world, and he's a gay man, so most of the things I got was from a gay man's perspective. I'm not mad at that. But something I did learn from that workshop was a lot of lesbian women were actually taking care of a lot of the gay men that were in the HIV/AIDS crisis in the 80s. And that is something I never knew. I watched the Stonewall documentary, like all these things that talked about that, even like through Pose. Like I never knew that.
I didn't either.
And it's like, why am I just now finding that out just now?
Yeah.
So unfortunately, even in the queer community, we still cannot escape misogyny, unfortunately, because we even talked about that. Like there is a hierarchy in our community, and unfortunately, Black women are at the bottom of everybody's hierarchy for whatever reason, even though we do the most work and have poured the most into the people, this earth, the world, and it's very frustrating. But I even think the queer community could do better with highlighting lesbian women. And even at the DC Black Pride was great.
But it was mainly for the men.
Yes.
For gay men.
It was mainly for gay men.
If we're being honest. And there's nothing wrong with that, because once again, this was our first time going to a Black Pride in general.
Yeah.
And just in a whole different environment. So it was interesting to see. But I will say DC is more so for men, gay men, or masculine.
Well, I will say the event, DC Black Pride, I feel like was catered more towards men. But there are a lot of like queer people in DC, which I didn't know. There's a lot of masculine presenting women in DC, which I enjoyed a lot because I'm very attracted to masculine presenting women. So I really did enjoy myself in DC, and we had to go find other spaces to find women. Unfortunately, they did not attend DC Black Pride, and I understand why.
Because it was just not a space for them. So that made sense, I guess, in a way. But yeah, that's why for me, I'm not big on labels. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah. I think when it comes to labels, it's how you perceive it to be, and you know, how you have to define how it's important for you. But for me, I'm just at that point in my journey with my gayness of just, it is what it is. You know what you see, and I'm going to keep it moving. Like a friend of mine asked, oh, how are you going to be celebrating Pride this year? I said, I'm going to be at home. Like, that's how I'm going to be celebrating.
I'm gay every day, so
I'm going to be taking a nap after my job.
Look, if people really care about Pride and y'all really want to celebrate Pride, stop all these anti-gay laws. Please, stop them. Stop all the anti-gay, anti-trans. Cut that mess out. If y'all really want to celebrate Pride, if these companies really want to celebrate Pride because y'all have a hand in the laws that are made too, stop it. That's all we ask. We don't want Pride merchandise. We want y'all to stop making it harder to be a queer trans person in America. That's what we want. We don't want rainbow cups. We just want to go outside and freely live our life
and be like everybody else, because we are like everybody else. The only difference is we love somebody different. That's it.
So that's what people can start doing for Pride Month. What else did we talk about that work? It was a really great informative workshop, and like the one of the ladies, the partner I had, it was really cool to talk to someone, and she was talking about in her business, she's not really like openly queer,
because it can mess with your money. And
my thing is, my perspective on it is, I got everything against me. I don't feel like that, but I feel like an outside person looking in. I'm Black, I'm a woman, I'm queer, poly. So I got all the labels and stigmatisms against me. So I'm just like, look, I'm gonna just be who I am. And if you're not gonna like me, you're just not gonna like me. I'm not gonna try to hide stuff and have to keep hiding it in order for you to keep working with me. This is who I am. This is what you get. If you don't like it, leave. So I'm very like openly queer with my own business, and even at work, like I'm a very openly queer person. I don't feel the need to hide that. And it's not that some people are hiding it. They just don't feel the need to walk in a room and say I'm a lesbian. And I get that. I get that because that's not your whole identity and personality.
Yeah. But
for me, I feel like it's very important for me to show up fully as myself. So that's why I feel that way.
I don't need to make an announcement. Y'all already see what it is.
You said you are the announcement. Like, there's not much you gotta say.
I'm just gonna go in there and do my job and go home. I will say, from a corporate standpoint, and I've talked about this because I do DEI stuff with my job. But before I got into this new department, because I've been at this company this is my 5th year here, and this was the first year that I've really been my complete self in a working environment, because the other years I tried to hide it as best as I could, because once again, even if you're in a very friendly queer space, you just never know, because a lot of companies just say stuff to be cute, but they don't really follow through. So you sometimes do have to be careful with who you work with and all that. But I will say this is the first year I've really been masculine and really been open about myself, because I stay in the corner, y'all. I do my job and I go home. I don't like the kiki and all that, as you know from previous episodes. So it was nice to feel like I don't have to play mental gymnastics with myself on what I'm not only going to code switch, but what I'm going to hide to be more palatable for other people, because it does get very exhausting. So I was like, you know what, it is what it is. And I will say it is very freeing. But for me, I'm not going to go into a space and wave my hands in the air like I don't care that I'm gay, because you already know. And just from how sometimes other people, especially other women, look at me, I can kind of see that curiosity. So that already tells me you already know. So that's how I feel, y'all.
That is hilarious. But yes, like every person is valid for the way that they feel and the way they present themselves. And I really believe in if it's not safe for you to come out, then don't.
Yeah.
If you're gonna lose your job if you come out, then don't. If you're not gonna have a place to stay if you come out, then don't. But it is very freeing being who you are and living in your truth and being very unapologetic about it. I love that about myself. So
yeah, you do that very well.
Yeah.
Don't be like, Tiara is really sweet, but if you cross her, she will. You'll know not to do that again.
I'm screaming. I'm a Leo, so and people don't know that about me. They're very surprised when I tell them I'm a Leo, but I'm real chill until you spark that fire in me, and then I'm gonna go off on you. So
yeah, I didn't know she was gonna go off on that lady today, because we had to return the fan.
I didn't go off on her.
No, you didn't. But I didn't. Okay, let me. Okay, I know that I literally just took a U-turn in our podcast, but I didn't. Okay, because she told me to get another fan, so I didn't know how the interaction. That's why I was her. I'm like, I don't know how this is gonna go.
No, I went really. I say, here's the fan. I opened it. It had a big dent in it. Here's the receipt. She said, okay. I said, okay. We cool. We cool. I don't pop off unless you have me pop
But
off.
I didn't know because it's Walmart, so I didn't know. Because if y'all, I know this is not part of that. It is part of the episode, but so I went to a different Walmart and I got a lighter and it didn't work. And the lady was kind of giving me a hard time, like, oh, I don't see the code is not matching this and that. And I had the receipt and I was still having issues. I did get my $4 back after 15 minutes of going back and forth to her. But I know Tiara with me in that space, it would have been off. So that's why let me hurry up and get this fan to just make sure nothing was coming. That was going through my head today.
I'm real chill till you send me there. I am. I'm real nice and real sweet. But if you provoke me to pop off, I'm gonna give you what you wanted. You provoked me, so you gonna get it. It is what it is. This is why we could not have like a for real friendship argument. I think our friendship, I don't think it would end our friendship, but we would not talk to each other for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because it would be real
bad.
bad.
Definitely have to, like, because I am a pretty mellow person.
But you're petty.
Yeah. And that's not a good combo of, because I'm not gonna, if I'm screaming and hollering at you, it's time for me to go.
Yeah.
It's really, really time. I should have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I'll just talk to you in this manner.
Mm-hmm.
And you still gonna be yip yapping and popping off. And I'm just gonna be like, I'm just gonna laugh, y'all, because I know that's not funny and I should not be doing that. I'm just gonna be looking like, okay, when you ready to be an adult, let me know.
See, that's petty. That's petty. That's petty. You ain't gotta say all that, but okay. This is why and we've joked about this, and I really hope we don't get into a really bad argument. I don't even know what. Okay, there are a few things we have talked about this.
We have talked.
There are a few things that we would probably get in a really bad argument about, but we understand that we would not do those things.
Yeah, we respect every boundaries. Yeah, and that's why our friendship does work. We've had little disagreements here and there, but nothing like crazy. Yeah. So
because it's gonna get crazy.
We don't need to be seeing all that. I think we're doing good.
Oh my goodness, but yeah, and I think like in DC, it's really cool that there's like a community of queer women, lesbian women that meet up every month, and they just talk about life and talk about their experiences, and it was just really, really nice to be around so many people that did not care that I'm gay.
And that too, I think it was interesting to see you from going to toleration to acceptance. Yeah. Like that was a very interesting perspective to see, because it didn't matter if you were 65, if you were 16, like everybody was just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I like your flag, like this and that. And people in the South would not do that, really. If they do that, you either a cool friend or you in the community.
Or it's a backhanded compliment.
Yeah. So it was nice to just get that experience to see how that would be.
Yeah, but I absolutely loved DC. I understand. Because there are people that aren't from Dallas and they're like, oh my gosh, I love Dallas. I'm like, I've been here my whole life, so it is what it is. But no, now I feel like I'm one of those people because I love DC. I love DC so much. I can't wait to go back. We are going to World Pride in DC next year. I've already told all my friends.
I think it's gonna be cool.
Even if I go by myself, I'm coming back to DC next year.
I think it'll be cool if our other friends are coming, because I think they will really, really like DC.
Same.
More than I don't want to say more, because
nobody's gonna love DC more than me.
Okay, when I say more, I mean in the sense of like more options.
Okay, yeah.
I think they will really like that experience.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to wear some separate shirts, y'all, because
to experience, I like when I go to new places. If I go with someone else, like I like to just kind of scope out the scenery and stay with that person. But yeah, if we go to DC again, I'm gonna be like, bye y'all.
Yeah. Because I was messing up her opportunities, and she probably was messing. I really didn't see a lot of people for me, to be honest, regardless.
There were a lot of masculine women in DC. I love that. That was great.
It was cool for me. Like, it was fun. But I didn't really see anybody that either I was really attracted to, or they were taken, or they just worked the event. Yeah. So, and it wasn't a lot of options at all.
For you, unfortunately.
But I think it was interesting how you said that in DC, a lot of masculine women are very traditional. You were really... A lot of DC
lesbian women are very traditional. They're very, I take care of my girlfriend, my wife, financially. They do more of like what people would deem like the masculine roles. Which I don't think there's an issue with that at all. But they really take pride in taking care of their family, taking emotional, mental, financial care of their partner. Like, that's something they really take pride in. And I really, like, respect that. I do. I'm not a traditional person. There are traditional things that I like, but if somebody wants to be very, like, I want to marry you. I want to take care of you.
I know that's not your thing.
But like I thought it was very interesting in a lot of just like Christian masculine presenting lesbian women. So that's what I mean by like traditional. There was a lot of that in DC.
Yeah, so it was nice. And I will say, I'm usually not in the space where I'm around a lot of other masculine presenting women. So that was also a very new dynamic for me. But it was really cool to be in that space. I didn't feel uncomfortable or anything. Because sometimes I am a little bit uncomfortable when I am around other masculine presenting women because you just don't know that vibe. And it's just this weird standoffish energy. Yeah. So it was nice to just be in this space where everybody was cool and down to earth and we had a good time. Yeah. So.
Do you feel like most of the masculine women there were similar to you?
I don't know about similar because I didn't feel like I really got to know anyone to really say they were similar, but there were similar qualities. Yeah. And characteristics that I'm like, okay. Yeah. Like if I was down here, like I could definitely see I could make some friends and stuff. But I felt like I didn't have to perform and dress a certain way or this and that to kind of validate my masculinity.
You didn't have to perform your masculinity.
Yeah, there is that issue too of like, oh well, you're not masculine enough. You're too this and you're too that. And I think just from my experience of being a black lesbian woman in this day and age, it's always like you're either not woman enough or you're too woman, and it's just. I'm just me. If you don't like me, please find somebody that works for you and mind the business that pay you. Like, yes. So that was really nice to just once again experience. And a lot of the women were very much older than us. Too.
That is true.
So they were not in that phase where you're. They were old enough to know like, look, that's beyond us. Yeah, I feel like. People who say it's business, I feel like that's more of like the younger generation. Not saying it's not in the older generation, because I'm sure there are people like that too, but it's just in this day and age, they made sure to make it a safe space. Yeah. And I really, really did appreciate that. Yeah.
So, yeah, DC was amazing, as I said in the other episode, and I said in this one. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I literally cannot wait to go back.
I know she's very excited, y'all. And there is a place that I want to go that I still have not gone to yet. I think this is going to be a good place for me. So, we'll see.
It is.
Oh, my gosh.
As I say in every episode, Lauren is single. Please go to her Instagram page. DM her if you like what you see. If you want to get to know more,
go to Tiara's page too. Tiara actually has food on her page, y'all. Y'all know y'all love y'all some food, so go ahead and go to her page.
I'm not taking any applications at this time, but Lauren, she's saying you're not, but she is. She's taking applications. Her friend said she's taking applications.
I'm taking applications in my head for when I'm ready. Then I can do what I need to do. I'm taking applications to not to get this heat.
If y'all message Lauren, tell her your friend said you was taking applications. So high.
If it's a person I think you would like, I'm gonna send you a DM. Look, y'all, she has some good stuff on her page.
I'm screaming.
Look. Also, she is doing her farmers market. If you want to go ahead and shout out your farmers market.
I do the farmers market in Cedar Hill, Texas. Every second and fourth Saturday. In August, there's 3 Saturdays. Oh. So I'll be doing it 3 times in August.
Uh-oh.
And
it's your birthday month.
Yeah, it's my birthday month. And then it ends in October. So if you're listening to us and you live in the DFW area, come to Cedar Hill for the farmers market.
I'm very excited for October.
What happens in October?
This heat goes away.
Maybe.
It's gonna be better. It's gonna be better than what it is now.
Hopefully it goes away.
I'm ready for the fall, y'all.
I'm ready for the fall too. It's too hot, and I love the summertime. I love the sun. The ozone layer is gone. I don't care what nobody say. We don't have an ozone layer no more. We don't. and I can feel that it's gone because it's just too hot.
I need to put some sunscreen on today. I definitely forgot to do that.
I'm gonna pop you.
I'll put it on before we leave.
I'm gonna pop you. Please. This is a PSA. If you have melanated skin, you still need to wear sunscreen. I don't care how deep your melanin is, you still need to wear sunscreen. Everybody needs sunscreen. Not just lighter skin, lighter tone people. Everybody on the spectrum from lightest tone to darkest tone needs sunscreen. Yes, Lauren?
I've been doing better.
Yes, Lauren.
I've been doing better. I just forgot to put it on. We were in a rush this morning, but yeah.
But honestly, our main topic for today is we're really going to be talking about masculine and feminine energy. And let's start off with all people possess masculine and feminine energy. It's not women only possess feminine and men only possess masculine. All people, no matter how you identify, no matter what you were born as, everybody possesses masculine and feminine energy. Now, you can choose to lean more into one or the other, or you can choose to just not identify with it at all. That's the non-binary spectrum. Mm-hmm. But everybody carries and possesses it.
Yeah.
So, I feel like I lean more into like the feminine energy. Now, there are things I respect about masculine energy, but when it comes to like how I'm treated from other people, I prefer to be more in like my feminine energy. Now, when it comes to business and money, that's when I'm more locked into my masculine energy. So that's how I like to flow between the two.
I feel like for how people view me, that's a good question. Because I feel like when it comes to men, I'm definitely more in my feminine energy because it's like they want to exert their masculine energy. And I'm like, I see you, man. I see. I didn't forget. And then I feel like when it comes to my friends, it's a good mixture.
Lauren is you like to live in your masculine energy when it comes to your friends. Because your friends are feminine.
Yeah.
And that's something you've taught me is when there's someone with masculine energy that wants to do things for you, you should just let them. You should, because people that really take pride in their masculinity, they're not doing something to get something from you. Yeah. They just take pride in being that masculine energy and being able to do something for you to like make you happy or to like add to your life.
Yeah.
So that's something you have taught me, and it's something that I have carried with me. If like somebody's in their masculinity and they're proud and taking pride in it, not doing it to get something from you, then it's okay to step back and let them do whatever.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. I just
wait. Why do you say that's interesting like that?
I feel like for me, I just be doing stuff. Like I guess it's like yes, because we had a good conversation when we were in DC about like our friendship and like our dynamics and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
And I was just like, because it makes me feel good.
Yeah,
it does. And I know there's just certain things in my mind. Okay, I need to do this. It's like a check off in my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's just okay. Let me make sure I'm doing this and this and this and this. So.
And Lauren is also like, I do remember this other conversation we had. I was thinking about the conversation we had about power dynamics, but we had another conversation about because Lauren will always keep trying to open the door and this and that, and I'm like, Lauren, for one, Lauren really treats everybody the same, and when Lauren gets a partner, she's gonna treat that woman the same as she's treated her friends, and I have to remind Lauren like, look, for one, we are friends, and you're still a woman. So let me open the door for you sometimes. Like, it's okay. You don't always have to do that.
It feels weird.
I know it feels weird. It's weird. But it's okay.
It's not that I don't like it. It's now I have to explain that too when it comes to my other friends too. Of just like, it's not that I don't like, because I know sometimes my face or my actions might say otherwise. But I will clarify, override whatever my body is feeling. I do like it. It's just not, I'm gonna have to adjust.
Yeah.
Or just something. And once again, we'll talk about this too. It's just growing up, I think I've learned a lot from my father.
Yeah.
And I saw him do all these things.
Yeah.
With my mom. I'm like, okay, I need to do that.
You had a great example of healthy masculinity growing up.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people have a good example of healthy masculinity. I don't subscribe to there needs to be a father in the home. I subscribe to there needs to be someone in the home that teaches you how to be a good human being.
Yeah.
And I do feel like a lot of people grow up around either toxic femininity, toxic masculinity, or both.
Yeah.
Which is either one, and the combo is not good at all. Yeah. So it's nice that you actually grew up around healthy masculinity, because I feel like your dad is a person that takes pride in being a man, takes pride in taking care of his wife and his kids, and loves y'all. Like he genuinely loves. He loves his wife more than y'all, but he genuinely loves his wife and his children. He takes pride in being a man, and he takes pride in his masculinity, and I really respect that. I really, really do.
And I do love my dad for that. I know we don't be talking about that a lot, but I do love my dad, so if you listening, I do love you. But yeah, that's where I learned the masculinity from.
Nice. So. And it is like, I didn't grow up with like any form of healthy masculinity. I've learned healthy masculinity from Lauren and another one of my best friends, Devin. Those two people have taught and shown me healthy masculinity in my life, because that is not something I grew up around or with. Yeah. So I'm glad that I got to experience that. And unfortunately, a lot of people will go through life not experiencing healthy masculinity or healthy femininity. And that really sucks.
Well, how did that feel for you, being a very independent woman who... Well, I'll ask you, like, did you, prior to I know you know Devin for a long time, but, yeah. I mean, do you feel like this is the most you've been in your feminine energy, you will say?
Yes.
Well, how did you, like, feel before that? How did you feel if somebody was trying to show you those things? Like, did it make you feel weird, or you just kind of, like, accepted it and allowed it, or you just rejected it?
Okay, I feel like it's not like a person has tried to like have me be in my femininity or in my feminine energy. It's more of like, okay, this is the checklist, this is what has to be done. If you can't do it, then I'll do it. And I feel like that's how most of my relationships have been. And with me picking people that really were not self-sufficient didn't help. Yeah. So it was just me kind of like doing everything. And sometimes, like in my relationships, if my partner wants to take me out on dates and stuff, it really didn't feel like a date, because it's like, well, I paid the rent, I bought the groceries, I put the gas in the car, and now you're taking my car to take me on a date.
I get how it's just like, I guess.
So I feel like I haven't really been in relationships that's like nurtured me to even be in my feminine energy in the first place. I feel like me being single, I've been more like in my feminine energy than being in any relationship I've ever been in, like romantic relationship.
Do you like it better like that?
Yes. Oh. I feel a sense of like calm and peace living in my feminine energy, and I don't feel so much pressure to do everything. Because that's really frustrating.
I get that.
And I'm not a person that I just want to sit and do nothing, but I also would like to have a partnership with somebody. Not I'm taking care of you.
You feel like you're a parent.
Yes, I don't want to be a parent at all, especially to a grown person. Absolutely not. So, but no, like something I do look for in my next partners is someone that's able to let me be myself and let me be me and let me thrive more in my feminine energy, because I'm just a very, very chill person. And I know in the past I have not been chill. But I feel like me today, like I'm just very like calm and at peace with things. And that's nice.
Yeah.
Now when it comes to like my job and my family life, that's real crazy right now. And I feel like I'm more like, even if I'm not, I don't want to say I'm in my masculine energy, but I'm more like defensive and closed off in some situations. But, and I feel like personally when it comes to my business, I am more in my masculine energy, but not like in a negative way.
Yeah, I mean, it's you're literally your business. Like you're making the moves and decisions that works best for your business. So I get that. And
I'm comfortable with it being in that way. I'm not comfortable being in a masculine energy in a romantic relationship because I'm with a person that's not self-sufficient. Yeah. And that's how it was in the past with me.
Mm-hmm. I get that.
But you enjoy that. Mm-hmm. Okay, not being with someone that's not self-sufficient.
Yeah,
not that.
No.
Not that. But you enjoy paying the bills, taking her out on dates, and doing all that. You enjoy that.
Yeah, I do.
Not that I don't, but I want somebody to do that for me.
I get that. That's you should want that.
Yeah.
So.
And I feel like I do. Yes, I mainly want to thrive in my feminine energy in a romantic relationship, but I also like showing out. So if I can take my boo on a date, or if I can pay for like something she does every month, I would be more comfortable doing things like that. So
Tiara really do be showing out, y'all. And she really do be showing out. So it's not like she was saying before, she's somebody just gonna be sitting around doing nothing. Because Tiara really don't like to sit around and do nothing anyway.
I don't.
So she's gonna be
drives me crazy. I gotta do something.
So yeah, that's why I said, look, go on her DMs, y'all.
Don't be doing this. Don't be doing this. Don't be doing this. I don't. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm not taking applications at this time. I'm not. Try again next year. Try again next year.
But yeah, I will say, even when I was still living at home with my parents, if my dad was not there, then I was next in line.
Yeah,
that's just what it was. So,
which is really funny. Which means that, and that's what I was saying, Lauren. Like, even when you didn't come out, it was just an energy about you. Yeah. And people can see that and they can feel that, and I think that's why, like, if your dad wasn't there, then you were next.
I don't know. I feel like when you're carrying energy versus somebody feeling your energy is a very different experience, because when you exude the energy, it's just you're just used to it. It's not really thinking. It's not something of like, well, I know I have a lot. It's not like I'm trying to just get it out there, but I think it's interesting when people who feel your energy like have conversations about how that experience was, because like, oh, okay, I didn't know I was doing all that. Like, I mean, cool. That's just how I am. It's like how I'm just wired. Yeah. So it is just an interesting experience. Yeah. So
nice. And I feel like, because I feel like people think that feminine and masculine people can only be together in a romantic way, but our energies work in our friendship very well because we play off of each other's strengths and weaknesses very, very well.
We do. Yeah.
And I think something about me is that, I don't know if this is just like a me thing or like a feminine thing, but when we go out places, I'm the person that is very like assertive.
She is. That's why I was trying to run to get that pen.
Not run.
I'm like, let me make sure.
I'm just very assertive, and when I'm out with Lauren is very just like, she lets me lead because I'm comfortable doing that, and I do like that of you not trying to like be like assertive, I guess.
For one, Tiara has the energy for. I don't have the time and energy. I'm gonna be honest. Cause when being assertive is very draining sometimes for me, depending on like what the situation is. But for Tierra, if she want to do it, go ahead. That's less stuff that I have to do when it comes to that.
Yeah.
So.
And I enjoy that. I do. I enjoy that. And I feel like most of my friends are like that, where they just let me lead. And I'm okay leading when it's my choice and my decision. Yeah. Not when I'm forced to do it. Yeah. So if it's my choice and my decision, I really enjoy just taking that assertiveness and leading. And I know that's like a commonly masculine, air quotation marks, thing. But say it like that? because I feel like people need to take some things, not think about masculine and femininity as like, this is what feminine women do, this is what masculine men do. Like, all of us carry that energy, and I feel like we all lean into those energies for different things. Yeah. So I feel like I'm more my assertiveness, I feel like it's not a masculine or feminine thing with me. It's more of like a mix of both of them, because I don't go into places asking. I go into places telling. And that's the difference. I be asking. Yes, Lauren asks. I tell them, this is what's going to happen. This is what you're going to do. You go in there and ask, and maybe, is this okay? It is okay, because this is what you're going to do. And I don't know if that's like a Southern hospitality thing for me. I don't know. We both grew up in the South. What do you mean? Maybe. Look, growing up, I was not really. I'm just a very introverted person, so I'm stepping out of my comfort zone. I'm just gonna, and I don't want to come. I feel like too, being a black woman, I don't want people to think that I'm coming off aggressive and and if I'm rude, they really not gonna do what I need them to do anyway. So sometimes I do try to put a little charm in it to see if that will help the situation. I've grown up around a lot of assertive, very strong-minded women my whole life. So, yes, there's a thing in my head that's like, oh, what if I'm the angry black woman? But also, I'm just like, I'm always going to be the angry black woman. So why not give them what they want? Why not? So, it's like, if you're going to perceive me that way, even if I'm nice to you, I'm just going to say what I want to say. Yeah. So, yes, that thought is in the back of my mind, but at the same time, it's just like, you're just going to perceive me in whatever way you're going to perceive me anyway. Yeah. So I'm just going to be me, and if you take me there to get angry with you, then you're going to get this fire and you're going to get this anger. And that is what it is. I will just leave and not go back to a place ever again. Okay, there you go. You can start. Okay. But my thing is, like, they're going to perceive you as being the angry black woman no matter how nice and polite you act. They're already going to see that regardless. Because I will say in my family, I do have, like, a lot of assertive women as well. But I take more on of, like, the men's personality in my family. So a lot of the men in my family are very just chill and just laid back. So I think that also is just the difference with just how we're wired as people. Yeah. And Tierra definitely takes on a lot more of like the women in her family. Yeah. And I take more on the men in my family. So that's just kind of how it is. Yeah. And I think I really do think me and Lauren's friendship is a good balance. And I think our friendship is also a good balance because we're breaking stereotypes of like, oh, masculine and feminine women can't just be friends, or men and women can't just be friends. Like, that's not true. That's not true. So I do enjoy our friendship for a lot of reasons, and I enjoy it the most because we really do balance each other out very, very well. Mm-hmm. I definitely, because I know a lot of people think, oh, we wouldn't work well as friends, because we do. Yeah. But once again, it takes two people to want to make a relationship work. Yeah. Any type of relationship. Any type of relationship, it takes two people to make it work. So I think that's also what helps a lot too, and just give you that space and having conversations if something is changing or we're just having like a day or whatever. So yeah, I think that does help. Because Lauren is literally like, we live the same lives. Yo, we didn't ask for that. I didn't tell her to do that.
and I didn't ask for that.
We live the exact same lives, and I'm just to the point where, because also I forgot to tell this on the last podcast. So when we were at the Pride event, there was a guy that came to our table, and he was being nice. Like, he was talking. He was obviously very drunk, but he was like, "Oh, are y'all together?" And Lauren said no, and he's like, "Oh, you said no fast." And it's like, no, Lauren genuinely, literally is like my sister. I'm gonna start doing what I used to do with Devin back in the day, because me and Devin were like inseparable. So people thought we were together. We just started telling people we're cousins, so people would stop thinking we're together.
At this point, yeah.
Yeah.
You got to just say
Now we could be sisters for real. But that's another conversation.
That is.
That's another conversation. But no, like, Lauren is. I see Lauren as like a family member.
Same.
I don't see her as like a romantic partner at all, because Lauren could not handle being in a relationship with me at all.
Could you handle being with me?
You would irritate me too much.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would irritate me too, because you would always want to have these deep philosophical comments. I'm just like, shut up. Like, stop.
I know I'm a very like structured person. I like things done a certain way as well. And Tiara just like to do her. I'm like, can we do it like this and then? Like, I feel like that would kind of make me like, I'm just like, there's just little things I realize, like, okay, I really like things done this way.
Yeah. I feel like in a romantic relationship, the power dynamic would be very off, and I would have more power in the relationship than you.
Yeah.
Because you can say that, but I'm still going to go do what I want to do.
And that's going to irritate me.
Yes.
And when I'm mad, y'all, I just shut in.
And when you act petty, oh no, that's going to set me off. That's going to set me off. Oh no.
I think there'll be a lot of arguing.
Yes. And you just sitting there not saying anything, but you say things that get under my skin. Oh. Oh.
That's not going to work. And there's just other things why it would just not work romantically. Definitely, I feel like.
I'm just, like, okay, all of my friends are very attractive. Like, I feel like me and all of my friends are very attractive people. I'm a person that I find all my friends, like, attractive in some way. Not attractive to where I want to date you.
Yeah.
But everybody that I'm surrounded by is very, very, like, physically attractive. And I do enjoy being around those people because I like y'all's energy. I like y'all's personality. Now, does that mean I have to date you?
No.
No. And I feel like some people think, well, oh, I like this about this person. And if you find that person, like, in a man, if you're a woman and you find that person in a man, or if you're a feminine woman and you find that person in a masculine woman, you feel like you have to date them. Yeah. But it's like, no, you can just be friends with them.
Right, you, like, you don't have to date everybody that you find attractive.
Yes, find attractive and get along with it.
You have to date everybody. No, sometimes you're just better as friends, and I think we've definitely established that.
And I learned in the past by dating someone that I feel like we really should have just been friends. And then not only did you go through like a toxic relationship with that person, you also lost a friendship. So I've already been through a situation like that of losing potentially what could have been a really great friendship because I rushed into dating that person, and I really wish I didn't do that. So I've learned to be like, okay, why do I like this person? Do I like them enough to like want to have a relationship with them, to want to date them? Or will we just work better as friends? And Lauren is also very traditional. She wants marriage. She wants children. I don't want none of that. I want to live by myself.
Yeah, that's why there's just like a lot of other reasons why we just know we're just better as friends. Yeah. And honestly, I like it that way.
Same.
So.
Same. I feel like we would ruin our relationship with each other if we dated.
Definitely.
Like, it would be done. That would be the nail in our relationship coffin.
Yeah.
So we would not work in a romantic setting way at all. Even like foundationally, when it comes to romantic relationship, the foundation we each want is very different. So that's not going to work at all.
Yeah. Fine. I don't like to argue.
And I do, so that's not going to work. I do like to argue. I've been working on that, but I do like to argue.
Because the dude at the thing, he also trying to ask, like, so y'all don't want to be together? I'm like, no we don't.
No.
Like, he's trying to set us up, like, sir, bye.
But that's the thing. That's what I say. Like, I feel like when people see masculine and feminine people together, whether it's 2 women, 2 men, a man and a woman, they always think, oh, okay, y'all should date, y'all should be together, but it's like,
just because you look cute together don't mean you also need to be together.
Exactly.
Like, there's a lot of things about us as individuals that we need to see if we're compatible.
Exactly. And you might only, I really believe in spectrums and ranges of things. Me and Lauren are only compatible as friends. Yeah. We are not compatible people when it comes to a romantic relationship at all. So I do believe that you can be compatible in one area, not in the next. I believe there are people that have good partners, but those people would also not be good parents. I believe there are people that are great parents, but are terrible partners. No. So I do think that everybody comes with their ranges, and you should have that relationship with that person in a relationship setting that you best see that fits you in that
person. But that's going to require conversations, which people don't have. I don't know what people be talking about nowadays. Like, the sky is blue and 1 + 1 is 2. But
people don't have conversations. People just have sex. And it's frustrating because, and I'm not going to sit here and act like that's not what I used to do in the past, but I've learned that if you had a conversation with somebody prior to giving them your body, you probably wouldn't even gave them your body. So
and the actual
let's start with some conversation,
not just a sexual conversation. Like, oh, what's your favorite position? What you like to do? Which, like, can we talk about something else? I feel like I've experienced the opposite of when I try to have informal conversation, people just ghost or don't want to really like invest that time into getting to know me. So I'm just like, I'm not to be single,
girl. No, you shouldn't.
I've been single.
Do you feel like that's why? Because I know all people struggle on dating apps for different reasons. Do you feel like you struggle with dating apps because you actually want to get to learn that person?
I struggle with dating apps because it's the same 5 people, and I don't be seeing anybody I like on those apps. And if I do find somebody I like, the conversation don't go nowhere because they just want to have sex. Yeah. That's why I be struggling on the apps. Yeah. And I haven't used the apps in a long, long time, y'all, because also I'm not paying for an app.
That's it.
I'm not paying for an app. So that's also why the apps don't work, because I don't want to invest in it in that way.
Yeah. I feel like we should do an app for a month for fun. See what happens. Go out of town, though. I'm done doing apps where I live in Texas. I'm done. There's nobody here for me. I've really accepted that there's nobody here for me. I'm okay. But, that was a random tangent. App thing.
That was random.
But, I mean, do you have anything else for our topic today?
Not really. I think we covered a broad of discussion, so I don't really have anything else.
Nice. All right. Well, and we're gonna do better about like posting more on our Instagram. Telling y'all to follow our personal accounts. My personal account is Tiara the Caterer. My first name the with 2 E's and caterer, and then an ER at the end.
And when I post up on my stories, I do tag both of our personal accounts. So just click on it, and that's direct access to our accounts. Yeah. So. And I maybe I'll start linking it in our description too, because I have like the main podcast account, but not our personal ones. Yeah. So I'll start putting that in there, so it's just ways easier for y'all to connect to us. And if we definitely answer the questions that we post on
our Instagram.
Yeah, and if you have any questions or anything, definitely
like
respond in our email.
Yeah, respond in our email or message us on our podcast account.
So. Well, y'all, I guess that's all we have today. Peace.
Bye.